Hey there, it's Mike at Farming Smarter here, and we're back in the field with another plot shot. Today we're looking at an ASLE Technology fertilizers trial, and as you can see, I'm getting sprinkled on a little bit, and what that means is when we get precipitation down, we have fertilizer losses, and so they have a proprietary blend 1087 fertilizer that they're marketing, and one of the interesting things we're doing within this trial as well as comparing to typical grower practices is we're actually got these greenhouse chambers behind us, and we're taking greenhouse gas measurements. So this morning what you'll see is you'll see the summer students out in the field. We're putting the lids on the boxes, and then we're elasticking the lids on so the air inside the chamber doesn't go anywhere. And then what we'll do is we'll take a reading with a needle, and so we'll stick the needle into the septum, we'll pull out a 20 milliliter air sample at specific interval timings, so for example 10, 20, 30 minute timings, and then we'll put that through, send that off to the lab and put it through gas chromatography, and from there they'll be able to look at the N2O emissions. So it's a really interesting project. It's lots of fun to be out here in the field and doing that work on the greenhouse side of things and looking at emissions results, and hopefully we'll see some really cool effects from the different fertilizer blends. Part of measuring these greenhouse emissions and modeling the actual emissions is that it requires a lot of external data. So we're setting up a weather station here that's going to give us exact precipitation, temperature, soil temperature. We'll have some moisture meters set up there so we can get the soil moisture at 6 and 12 inches, as well as kind of subsidizing that with the satellite stations we have at our other fields around the location here. It's really important in order to build that whole modeling system that we have a really good idea over rainfall and all the other factors that go into kind of predicting what those emission releases should be, and then modeling that based on the actual GC results, sort of the gas chromatography results of what we see in the lab. So we'll be taking these readings at least once a week for the next 3 or 4 weeks, probably twice a week depending on when the precipitation falls. So it's been a really interesting year this year. We've had precipitation. We started off in a deficit and pretty likely drought scenario, and then through the beginnings of May here, we've had a lot of scattered showers. We've had a couple 2-inch rainfalls, and so those are going to have some really big impacts on how the greenhouse gases are emitted, and that's going to have some big impacts on our sample dates. So ideally, we want to be out the next date after a big rainfall and getting the results from those emissions. So it's a really interesting year to study this, and I think it's going to be a really successful project. So one other thing maybe to note is, I guess this project is funded by ASLE Technology Group, and it's their proprietary fertilizer blend. So they'll be looking at all the data, and it's their baby, but it's really interesting, and I'm sure they're going to want to share all the cool results that they see.